Welcome to Articulate Thoughts, episode 109. I know it's been a little while, but I've been working on some personal things, and I made a decision that I'm going to post an episode whenever I feel like it. So if it's like 2 months in between episodes, it is what it is. But yeah, tonight I felt like it was the right moment to put another episode out. I just felt really inspired, and the past few days have been very mentally and emotionally heavy for me, but I've never been happier, to be honest. I just had a really strong flip of attitudes and had some really good conversations with some people that are really close to me this past week. And I feel a lot of how all that transpired was catalyzed by a conscious dance I went to earlier this week. So things are opening up again, and more facilitators in Calgary are offering their services as facilitators. So I went to a dance on Tuesday, and it was a really, really well designed class. And part of the exercise was to take a negative emotion and replace it with a positive emotion and use conscious dance to implement that transaction. So I identified feeling shame and guilt, and I was able to use the wave to transform that guilt and shame into self acceptance and forgiveness. And during the chaos rhythm of that wave, I really decided to devote myself into the dance. I put 100% effort, and I really gave myself into the experience, and I was sweating and like so exhausted, and my mind, and there's something when you're in that state, um, when you've put so much effort physically, and then the mental and emotional exhaustion is exerted, then there's like a point of like surrender or an opening. And I was able to utilize this to be humbled into admitting that I was feeling shame and guilt over certain things, and offered self acceptance and forgiveness instead. And it was a very, very powerful transaction. And the price was my effort, my sweat, and I put that prayer into that motion, and it worked really well, and things opened up, and it's amazing. Um, yeah, so from my time away from making videos and or hosting online dances and offering different things, I decided to take a look inside of myself and go internally, and just working on some, uh, I guess, demons, I guess you could call them, that I've been running away from for a really long time, and never really had the right tools or the right mental and emotional mind like capacity to confront the demons in the way that I needed to. So I really took the last couple months off and just wiped the slate clean and just said, hey, I'm gonna take it one day at a time and just do things out of pure desire instead of doing things because I feel like that's what I should be doing, and really tune into my emotions and my feelings. So if something negative came up, habit is to numb it out and distract myself with something, whether it be substances or even like breathing techniques and meditation and journaling. That's kind of I mean, those are very useful tools, but the way I was using them was to avert my presence with feeling this uncomfortable emotion. So I've been practicing identifying, hey, this is a negative feeling I'm feeling, and just be present with it without having a need or an urge to take an action to change the feeling itself. So after about 2 months of that, I was able to really hone in on some things that really needed work, mainly communication of needs, um, and just overall communication in general. And when I took, these feelings and intuitively thought, okay, I should go into a dance that I'm not facilitating, but go into someone else's space where they're hosting and they're creating the container, and I could just step in as a participant. I felt like I needed that, and in terms of like movement medicine and just not having any kind of attachment as to how am I creatively expressing myself, how am I doing, but or how am I showing up for my community, how I kind of give back to the dance floor. those kind of things I set aside and said, I'm just going into this dance because I need this for me and for myself and for my well-being. And um, took the intention that I'm going to use this dance to improve myself so I could show up in these other areas better. And as a result of that intention and taking that action, I was able to have a dance for the first time in a long time. I felt very liberated because I didn't have the weight of all these other stigmas or these things that I thought I should be doing or not doing or whatever. All that was set aside, and I was able to use the dance as time for me to be with me and to work through some of this shadow stuff that's been lurking around. And it's worked really great. So Tuesday night I went to that dance, had an amazing experience, and then the next day I had a really great clearing conversation with someone that's really close to me. And the next day someone called me, and they were experiencing some mental and emotional, like, I would say duress. Like they were pretty like heightened and was very stressed and didn't really know what to do with their situation. So they reached out to me, and we had about an hour and a half chat, and by the end of it they felt better, and it felt good to to know that I was able to um, communicate and facilitate a conversation where they could kind of work out their stuff and get to a better place. And then the next day I had that with like two more conversations like that. And then the day after, someone else needed some support, and like I just kind of been in a space where my cup was so full and overflowing that I was able to show up and be present for other people. And it felt really, really good because it wasn't like a thing where I was sacrificing my own time and energy to support someone else, but like I was good. Like I had my mental, emotional, and physical needs met, and I was able to just give and be supportive for other people and show up the way that I want to show up for people, just because I was in a really great place. So, um, yeah, and then on top of that, it was just a really great UFC week as well. I'm a big UFC fan, and I'm a very fascinated student of movement and the manifestation of movement in the human body in various ways. And martial arts is a very beautiful display of movement, and with a different intent from dancing, totally different intention, but definitely has like that artistic expression to it. And tonight was just, oh my gosh, it was such a spectacular display of mixed martial arts, and just fight after fight I was just mind blown, and I was just like, wow, this been a crazy week. It's just been an amazing week. And yeah, I want to be like grounded and centered and not expected to continue going this way for too long, but just enjoy the moment for what it is, and just really soak it in and say, okay, this is like where I want to be. This is how I want to feel. This is how I want to show up for the people that I care about. And I've also had inspiration to start looking for music, putting together playlists, putting together lesson plans, starting doing sacred geometry artwork again. And I haven't done any of this creative stuff since like May. So this, there's like a spark going, and it feels really, really great. And I'm also planning to go back to Ontario for 2 weeks between the 19th of July and 2nd of August, and I'm super stoked for that. So there's just a lot of momentum, a lot of really great things happening in my life, and I think the time away from the conscious dance projects and offerings and YouTube online promotion and all that kind of stuff really, really helped and clear some things. So um, yeah, no expectations or anything, but in my mind, I'm kind of planning to do some offerings in August. So um, I'm just kind of working out the material, and whenever opportunities present themselves, then I'll, put the word out. So if you are interested, just send me a message on Facebook or email. I'll put the things in the description, and then I'll keep you updated with whatever is on down the pipeline. So if you listen to this much of the video, thanks for getting 10 minutes into it with me, and I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Peace. Deuces.